For years, the rapid expansion of the residential solar market in the United States relied heavily on generous government tax credits. But that era of incentive-driven growth is quickly coming to a close. As these federal subsidies phase down, they are exposing a major structural problem: the heavily inflated actual cost of getting a solar system installed and running. This breakdown shows the true price of a typical installation. Notice that the physical hardware isn't the biggest expense. A massive portion of the price comes from soft costs: complex permitting fees, heavy sales commissions, and the inefficiencies of wiring fragmented parts together. This leaves buyers stuck between two frustrating options. They can either pay a premium for bloated, expensive turnkey installation companies, or they can buy cheap, unsupported hardware in a box and struggle to navigate the technical hurdles alone. In this environment, the competitive edge is shifting toward firms that can systematically strip these soft costs and middlemen out of their final pricing. That specific engineering challenge is the focus of GigaWatt. It's a US-based solar company that has survived for nearly 2 decades, building its foundation largely without any outside venture capital. Looking at this revenue timeline, we see they've surpassed $100 million in lifetime sales, with $53 million of that generated just in the last 5 years. They achieved this by targeting the underserved middle market of capable DIYers and home builders who want professional-grade equipment without the massive markup. Yet, operating solely as a distributor and technical guide has its limits. In an increasingly cost-driven market, simply selling other people's parts restricts how much a company can control the final price and the user experience. To maintain their edge, GigaWatt is shifting its core operating model. They are moving away from organic, revenue-led distribution and actively bringing in outside capital to manufacture their own proprietary technology. The first pillar of this pivot is the physical equipment. GigaWatt is transitioning to producing its own branded hardware, specifically focusing on hybrid inverters and advanced battery storage systems. Q chart. This pie chart shows how they are deploying the capital raised through their current equity crowdfunding campaign on StartEngine. They are dedicating exactly 32.5% of the proceeds strictly to new product development. Interestingly, this new hardware push involves reviving a historic name in the industry. During the intense energy crises of the 1970s, a brand called Real Goods emerged, selling the first retail solar panel in the United States. GigaWatt acquired this brand and is now using its 1978 pioneer legacy as the foundation for their modern, integrated hardware line. Manufacturing their own branded inverters and batteries solves a massive headache for the end user. It ensures the components communicate flawlessly out of the box, while entirely cutting out the markups typically paid to third-party manufacturers. Owning physical hardware is the essential first step for GigaWatt to capture a larger share of the value chain and significantly expand corporate margins. But an efficient battery or inverter doesn't do much good if a homeowner can't easily get it permitted by their local city council or monitor its daily performance. This leads to the second pillar of their strategy: software. GigaWatt is prioritizing R&D into services like Planet Plan Sets, which is engineered to automate technical design and navigate the complex, localized hurdles of utility permitting. They are pairing this with a companion software platform currently in development, the Real Goods Hub, providing real-time system monitoring, detailed system diagnostics, and complete energy optimization. This diagram illustrates how the pieces connect. By linking proprietary inverters and batteries directly to their own software layers, GigaWatt creates a closed-loop ecosystem. This entirely removes the friction and high soft costs of forcing mismatched third-party parts to work together. This comparative model shows the financial impact of the pivot. On the left, you have the old distribution revenue structure, characterized by thinner margins and one-off sales. On the right, the new vertically integrated approach keeps the manufacturing margin in-house. Because the hardware is tied directly to the Real Goods Hub, it opens a long-term customer relationship. That software ecosystem creates the potential for highly profitable recurring service contracts. Expanding corporate margins usually means charging the buyer more. Here, the opposite happens. By eliminating the external dealers and salespeople from the process entirely, GigaWatt can actually lower the final price paid by the consumer. Post-subsidy profitability now relies on structural efficiency and ecosystem lock-in, replacing the old model of high-volume third-party resale. The industry is moving past its historical reliance on high-pressure sales and fleeting government tax credits. Success in the next decade of residential energy requires owning the proprietary technology that moves power into the home. GigaWatt's pivot reflects a broader shift, where competitive advantage is increasingly defined by how much friction can be engineered out of the installation process itself.